Well, everyone, wasn't expecting to do another FSD beta video for 12.3, but woke up this morning in Iowa and you have this. We are in really bad winter conditions here. The snow is coming down. Frankly, I do not expect the car to react very well in these conditions, and this might be a really short video. So I just got done dropping off my wife at work because the weather's so bad. I didn't want her to drive with her Tesla Model Y with the factory tires. I'm running Michelin Cross Climate 2s. These things are a beast in the winter. It may improve FSD, but as soon as we get past this turn, I'm going to try and engage it. And I have auto speed set because it's supposed to factor in driving conditions. So, boy, this is going to be interesting. Let's just try it. All right, had a little trouble engaging, and we're going. And so far, it is treating this at a reasonable speed, 14 miles an hour. And you can see it's, even though looking out in the front, it's very difficult to discern where the road is. The car is actually kind of figuring it out. I do have a full self-driving, has degraded. Sorry for the sound if the windshield wipers are a little loud, but there's nothing I can do about that, I don't think. I'll try turning them off. We'll see if full self-driving stays running. Coming up to a four-way stop, actually a two-way stop. Cross traffic does not stop. That was a nice smooth stop. Creeping out. Just ran over the curb because there was no curb. Let's try re-engaging again. I did have to brake. This is not really what FSD is made for, but so far, other than hitting that curb, which was a low curb, thankfully, should be slowing down by now. It's not anticipating that it's going to take longer to slow down. I was afraid I was going to slide into the back of that car, so I did disengage. I didn't want to risk it. Re-engaging. It's tearing through this. It's trying to go faster than it can here. For as much as I've said FSD 12.3 is amazing, and it is, it's really, in my opinion, a really step change in FSD, it's still going to struggle in poor weather conditions. And even though it's getting the job done right now, it's not something that I would probably recommend an average person to turn on. You should be probably driving manually. Although right now it does seem to be at least noticing that we need to go a little bit slower. We're at 21 miles an hour, the speed limit's 25. This is something that it would never have done at version 11. It tried to be doing 8 or 10% over that value based on my preset percent settings. But right now it's just kind of trying to figure things out. Trying to make my way over to my place of caffeine, and then from there we'll see how it goes getting to my place of work. Fingers crossed. Coming up to a four-way stop. It is starting to slow down. Okay, that was a reasonable slowdown. A little jerkiness in the wheel. I think it's trying to react to a little slipping that's happening. It's still accelerating way too fast. Okay, good slowdown, good stop. I think the tires actually play into making this somewhat usable at this moment. We do have a stopped school bus ahead of us, so traffic has slowed down. So not only do we have snow, but there's actually a small layer of ice underneath here, and the road conditions are frankly pretty darn poor at the moment, even though there's not a lot of physical accumulation. So we're going to inch our way through here. We've got a relatively big intersection. I am ready to take over at any moment. It's trying to get into a left lane that I frankly can't see, but it thinks it can. That's good. I'm a little impressed with that. And we're stopping. Did do a little bit of a slide, and we're gonna wait for our hopefully green arrow. Okay, we got our green arrow. We're going. Oh shoot. I had to take over. It was going to run right into the curb. Fortunately, I thought I was going to hit the curb, and that would not have been good, but I didn't. So let's see what happens in this right-hand turn. I got a little more leeway if we slide. It's a little more cautious. Again, it just doesn't, I think it's doing an okay job with speed select. It just isn't, it doesn't have any idea that the roads are super slippery. And, you know, this might be a factor of the fact that Tesla is a warm area company, Texas and California, and they just aren't used to having it trained in this area, but that's what I'm trying to do here for them. So we're at the place of caffeine. We're going to stop here real quick, get my caffeine, and then we'll make our way to work. All right, we're back. And we're going to set our destination for work. I'll go ahead and try and engage. Like I did last time. It's pretty early. It's going to try and make its way out of here if it can see anything. Yep, full self. No, it can't see. There's a big curb there, and it just frankly doesn't know it's there because I don't know it's there. I only know it's there from muscle memory. But here we go. I'll re-engage as soon as I'm on this main road here. All right, re-engaging. This is a bit of a nail biter. I have to admit, it's doing better than it's done in the past with snow. Some of these videos that I've done to show snow haven't lasted more than 30 seconds. And so far, it has some glaring issues. I mean, this is not something that you can just be complacent about, especially in turns. But straight lines so far, it's doing a pretty decent job because the road conditions are terrible, but you can see here on the screen, it's calm and sunny and clear, and it's actually not doing a bad job in figuring out where all the lines should be. All right, we're gonna get moving here. I don't really care for this follow distance. Okay, we're getting a little bit better spacing. I think we're going this slow just to follow traffic. That's probably good. It's kind of interesting on the screen. I don't see the blue track that's normally there to say it's charting a path, and I wonder if that's because it says that full self-driving is degraded due to poor weather conditions. But it's still enabled. Okay, there's our track. Maybe it's just because we're stopping and I just haven't been paying attention to it. So if that's how it's worked all the time and I've just not noticed, then all right. All right, we got a takeover immediately. It couldn't figure out what was going on. I'm gonna switch the wipers back to auto. At least the car realized that it was out of its element and needed a human being to take over. So as soon as I get stopped here, I'm going to try and re-engage it again because it does look like it's going to let me. But you can see right now it's really struggling trying to figure out where the lanes are. More so than it did just even through that last intersection. So re-engaging. Trying to. Keeps popping up. There we go. It's really trying to decide, should it let me, should it not? And I think I timed it properly again, and then so I was able to get it turned on. Window's starting to fog up. I don't know if that's impacting the video at all. ability to see what's going on. I am going to leave the wipers running, even though they are kind of loud. Sorry. All right, this is going to transition to 45, and there's no way this thing should be doing 45. It's also way out of the lane. Way out of the lane. Fortunately, there's no traffic behind me at the moment that would be in that other lane, so I'm going to let it do its thing. I'm going to try and do this. It may look like I'm gripping the wheel, holding on to the wheel, but I'm not driving. You can tell by the blue arrow here that FSD is actually doing things. It is trying to, it's actually, you can see the car in front of us is starting to pull away, and it's still holding at 21 miles per hour. That's good. 23 here now, 24. Speed limit's 45, and in the past it would try to do 45, which is not good. We're way in the other lane, and we're speeding up. I'm going to brake out because I don't think it's going to deal this well. Try and re-enable for the turn if I can. Yeah, I just can't. Won't let me. I know that these roads are slippier than the car knows these roads are, and if I was coming in at that speed to try to take that right-hand turn, I would have, at best, slid way out of the lane, potentially hitting another car. At worst, I would have slid into the car right in front of me. So here we go. Last little bit before we get to work. We're still not in the lane. It's tell that I'm kind of like not driving in the groove at all. Now it's just gotten back over. And it doesn't seem to look at the groove, but it's trying to figure things out. So, all right, we made it to work. I have to admit that full self-driving, I had very low expectations in these conditions. I think anybody should, but it actually worked better than any snow drive that I have ever done with FSD. So for those of you that says, oh my God, FSD is not ready for snow, you would be right, but don't hate on this. This is a step forward in my opinion. There is a tremendous way to go in having full self-driving in these weather conditions. In fact, it may never get there, and likely will never get there anytime soon. But in certain conditions, and I've been using this for a long time, I kind of have a feel for where it's going to do well and where it won't. It actually, I actually, for this type of condition, which is really bad, I think it did an okay job, all considered, given where we are with the state of things. So, okay, there you go. Full self-driving, 12.3 in really poor winter conditions that I didn't expect to happen, given that we're toward the end of March in Iowa. Wooler was hoping spring was coming, but there you go. Anyway, so hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, I'd appreciate you hitting that like button. And if you're new to the channel, subscriptions are always welcome. Let me know what you think in the comments about how FSD did in these conditions. So, thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you on the next video.